Go. Hey guys, we're
Woo!
live. Well, it's the sick folks of cinema. Are we fucks or we folks, guys?
Depends on the day.
I'm feeling fucky today. All right.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
You guys remember us. It's Heather Rogue, Stefan Bowman. Is it Stefan or Steven?
Yes, sir.
Stefan.
Today, sometimes Steven, sometimes Stefan, but today's Stefan. Yeah.
Christina Ceballos and Keith Graber. I know.
The third person in the flesh.
I was really enthused about my own name there. All right, let's talk about ourselves for a second. I am a horror movie, I don't know, enthusiast. Here's what I'm looking for in life. I want to be scared from a movie.
Ooh.
And I've not just startled, not terrorized. I want to be horrified, like actually like scared from a movie. And I haven't found it, and everything I watch is laughable. And that's the quest I'm on, and that's why I'm doing what I'm doing.
So you want something to make your nipples hard?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then that for maybe fall off. I don't know. Whatever happens when you're scared. Heather,
you guys get scared weird. I nipples hard,
but not easily.
Hey, man.
Just weird. Yeah.
These aren't normal nipples, though, man. We're talking like, yeah.
Heather, what are you looking for in a horror movie?
I want it to scare me as well. That sounds like everything you said sounds like what I guess horror is, right? So that's what it should do.
I'll have what he's having. Yeah.
Terrifying shit. But I also, from last week, developing this, I like bad movies, as well. As long as I'm enjoying myself and can like as long as it doesn't put me to sleep, just, be a good bad movie, don't be boring, or be a really good movie.
I agree.
That's pretty much it. And it doesn't even have to be horror, but this is a horror podcast. And horror is an easy way to watch like an interesting movie, because it's like, at least you're going to try and scare the shit out of me. You're not going to try and like teach me about life right now. You know what I mean? So it's like, I can get down with that.
Slow your roll. There's some movies out there that do it, and series too. The Haunting of Hill House. That was scary, just like knowing that the moral of that story was family's important.
Family is important.
In a horror movie?
And sometimes in a horror movie, that needs to be the moral of the story. It can't be cliches and tropes all the time,
No. A murdered family is important in a horror movie.
I can get on that bus.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Where are you going? To Amityville? Let's go.
See, sometimes that's okay. Like when I watch a horror movie, I just want to have fun. If I'm not having fun, and if the movie itself is too much of a drag, or it's a little too, like, trying to be too real in the real, and it kind of loses sight of, like, the fun that is. Like, why do people like to get scared? It's fun. So if there's no fun in there, I'm out. That's why I like the campy, like, really bad movies. Those are, like, my favorites.
Right when you said that, I pictured some, like, crazy party scene in an old 80s horror movie, and then Cyndi Lauper's playing Girls Just Want to Have Fun, and then everybody dies. I don't know why.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. That's a good example.
I'm picturing your ideal horror movie to be like Scream or something.
Nah, not really. I'm not really a slasher gal. Like, if Scream had like a supernatural,
I love the first one though. Oof.
Aspect of it.
It was
first
like
one was good.
It was campy in a way that was sort of I don't know, like an homage.
Well, not any more campy than I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Yeah.
That was like, that entire era was like, all right, we're bringing it back, y'all. We're bringing back the slasher horror movies, and it was a good time. But I like more like, there's got to be some like gods or ghosts or demons. Like, that really hits my horror heart.
Final Destination.
I'm here for it.
It'll be random shit.
I love them all, but the first one's my favorite.
The first
First
one was the
oh.
best,
I've only
I think.
seen bits and pieces, and it came off as like in that family of I Know What You Did Last Summer kind of camp.
Well, if you really like some like I don't remember, was it 2 or 3? I think it was 2 or maybe it was 3. I forget. There's a death in there that's I don't want to spoil too much. I'll say one of my favorite kills in there though. There's one where the guy doesn't see it coming. He's hungry and he goes into this drive-through, without realizing that he's just been set up to die. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, one of the cars crash, and the engine goes through the car,
Mhm.
and like it totally just decimates his
I
whole.
like
his
that
whole-
premise. I like the Rube Goldberg aspect of it. Like the breakfast, like Pee Wee Herman's breakfast machine is gonna kill you. Like, dun, 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 dun.
Oh yeah, no, there's some. That's the one thing I'll say about that series of films, that there are some death sequences. It's strange is saying that, but that are just fucking crazy, man. You're like, what? How did he die? That's possible? Oh yeah, yeah.
That also seemed like one of those teen movies to me, which is why I never really took it seriously. Not just like made for teens, but probably by teens. You know what I mean? Like had that look. You remember the Red Dawn remake they did a couple years back?
Oh, yeah.
It's
Like that
painful.
level of teen movie that is just like, oh, this is
The
made
ori-
for like like a particular year. This is made for like I don't know, like a week after prom or something. Just that age group and no one else on planet Earth.
Just in that bracket. That's the only time you'll watch it and appreciate it.
Yeah.
And that's the original for that, dude. Like, is so fucking good. I love the original, man. That
Yeah.
movies like that, I don't know if they just got to be stupid or they have balls that are just too big to even dare to touch something like that. Like, I don't know how you. Okay, yeah, you had what, Chris Hemsworth? That's it. Do you know the caliber of actors at that point in time that were in that fucking movie? Holy shit!
I think we're starting to get like Hemsworth cousins too. I don't know. I feel like I'm seeing a lot of them. All right, guys, should we talk about what we've been watching lately?
Sure.
I'm gonna do it anyway. I don't give a fuck what you say.
And
I've
kick it
been-
off, Graber.
I've been watching. Okay, I'm giving American Horror Story another chance, and I've been watching Roanoke.
Woo woo.
Okay, I'm getting there. Like it's just like I'm giving it a wide berth. Just like, look, as long as there's something, and but God damn it, if someone doesn't get out of the car in the middle of the night after they've been scared out of the house and walk through the fucking woods. I want to kill you. When I want to kill you, when I want everyone on screen to die, like something's going off the rails. I don't know. That's where I'm at. I'm going to give it a chance.
And just to be clear, that how many episodes are you in? It sounds like 3 or 4.
We just watched the third, yeah.
Yeah, that's
It's
about
better.
that's appropriate. You're supposed to feel like, what the fuck is this person like? Why wouldn't you? They should have been out of the house. They should have done this. That's
Yeah.
about on point.
And I feel like that series treats each season. Each season hits all the notes of a normal horror movie, rather than each 2-hour block or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, so you're gonna get all those notes that are gonna. So you're watching like 10 hours just to get the same that you would get from one movie. It's not like, oh, it's like 5 times the action. Like, no, slow down with that kind of stuff. But anyway, and I've also been watching. This is maybe outside the realm of horror, but pretty close. And we haven't really talked about animation that much, but I've been watching Jandy Tartakovsky's Primal, which is pretty good. I recommend it if you're into. It's like light anime. Like mild American anime.
Is that one on
Like our cheese,
Netflix?
Yeah. No, you can see it on Cartoon Network currently, I think.
Now
Oh,
that
nice.
you-
Okay.
Now that you bring that up, that gives me flashbacks of this demon-infested, I guess it would be horror anime that my buddy showed me a long time ago called Lord of the Underfiend.
Mhm.
Lord of the Underfiend. right? There's these
Sounds familiar.
giant demon creatures that have tentacle dicks that shoot semen acid at at things, and then there's these female demons who are just giant vaginas who eat things. It's fucking nuts, bro. But if you haven't seen it, I would check it out. I highly recommend it.
Highly
Very
Are they
recommend.
like literally vaginas and penises, or do they just like heavily look like that, like certain other anime?
Well, at first you can't tell. At first you can't tell because I didn't fucking know, and I have my eyes are pretty good. We're watching it, and he's all, I'm like, what the fuck just happened? What was that, bro? Because right, they got this whole like floating naval base, right? And then this little boy starts freaking out because he sees a hot chick and gets a boner, and then the demon comes out, and the demon's just like, yeah, and you're like, whoa, what's that? And then you see all these things with tentacles smashing and destroying shit, and then eventually you get a close up of it hitting a dude, but they zoom in on it, and you're like, oh, that's not a tentacle, that's a dick.
Okay.
It's hard to tell too if the vagina monster has an actual clitoris. Like most guys wouldn't recognize it. So
Facts. Hey man, what's that?
what have you been watching this week, Stefan?
I gave Sweethearts another go, the one that I was talking about a little while ago, with a girl that's trapped on the island, and there's a sea creature that comes
No,
out.
I also gave that one a go. Keep going.
No, yeah, really. I enjoyed it, being it's a Blumhouse, and I don't like everything Blumhouse does. I really don't. And then I got some more of my Fear of the Walking Dead, the newer season now, which it's actually pretty good. And you know, just watching, random stuff. Just give it like a good, couple minutes, and if it doesn't catch me, I just turn the shit off. I'm like, oh, I'm trying to think. And just looking for the Black Friday sales, man. Trying to get some, either horror movies or just movies in general. Real quick, not to take up anybody's time, but these are a few that I picked up. These were all Black Friday price, and I picked up a few more.
Are you selling
'Cause
those?
No.
I thought you were doing a plug. Okay, never mind.
No. Oh, hells no.
Like a great segue for a plug.
Yeah.
No, I just I'm a movie crackhead, so
Yeah.
if it's dirt cheap,
I
where
mean, you
can I
sound
buy
more
it?
like a movie head and also a crackhead. But yeah, okay.
Yes.
How about you, Heather? You said you gave Sweethearts another go.
That's about it.
Oh, we lost somebody.
Oh no.
Stina down.
She'll be
Fine.
back.
She'll be back, guys. Don't worry.
It's like the Zoom shows the slasher, and we're just going down as we
Yeah.
get cut out.
Oh no, they got her.
I went out earlier before we started recording too. This is the best way to do a podcast.
Normally, it's the slut or the cheating boyfriend that goes first, but somehow Stina got it. So.
But this slut survived, so.
Who's next?
There we go. All right, Stina. What about you? What have you been watching lately?
I'm on the same train that you are. At the beginning of the week, I started watching, or I finished up American Horror Story 1984, and my boyfriend watched the last majority of it with me, and he was like, "Wow, this is a great show." And I was like, "Do you want to watch another one with me? Because I'm in the mood." And we'd both never. I didn't watch Roanoke all the way through because I couldn't get through it. But I was like, let me try it again. And we sat there and we watched it all the way through in 2 days. I think it took us 2 days to watch Roanoke.
Respect.
So, yeah, I've just been American Horror Story. That's all I've been doing.
I love, I was, like I told you, I call shit all the time when I was watching that. And as soon as the kid sat down to the dinner table or whatever for a snack, and I was like, watch, she's going to be like, you wait here, and then walk 50 yards to a different part of the house and be like, where did they go? And that's exactly what fucking happened. I'm like, I wanted to get hired as going through a horror movie and be like, don't do that, like a guide, like a Sherpa in a horror movie to save people. Nope, there's a ghost in there. No, I don't know. All right.
I remember there was a thread that went around the internet for a while. It was a Twitter thread. And there was this girl who was like, y'all, I almost became a victim. Thank you to my husband, because they went to go check out this house that was very obviously creepy and very obviously not okay, like something in a horror movie. And she was like, oh, I just love this architecture. And he was like, why is there a tiny door down there? And she's like, oh, this is cute. I love it. And he's like, we're absolutely not taking this house. And then he like re-explained to her, and she was like, damn, I was that white woman. That was me. Oh my God, it's the funniest thread I think I've come in contact with in a long time.
All right, guys, should we get to the main event? Let's talk about the Wailing.
The Wailing.
I don't know if you have any thoughts on it. I've got multiple thoughts.
Keith, when don't you have multiple thoughts?
Not bad movie. Pretty good. Could have used a happier ending. No, I really like this movie. There's a lot of things I loved about it, and then there's a lot of things I want to fix so bad about it.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
what did you like about it?
Okay, so I liked the overall, the feel, the texture, the ambiance of. There's a little bit of like a backwoods sort of hick vibe, set in another country, obviously. But still, like, they retain that kind of vibe of they're a little bit detached from the rest of society in a way. The overall, like, just the feel of like, just down to like it when it's daytime and it's still sort of like spooky and a little overcast all the time, and nothing ever feels like 100%, sunshine and happiness. I like those kind of movies. Nice dark ending. Not gonna spoil it. I don't know, when is the spoiler alert?
You just have to announce it very loudly before
Spoiler
you do
alert.
It.
It's got a dark, fucked up ending that I like. Let me see what else. Not bad special effects.
I like the special effects. I thought they were appropriate, and it wasn't like too gory, but it was also very believable. I liked it.
About half of the acting I enjoyed. I thought was really good.
Okay, you know what? The one thing I think, I agree with all of those positives.
Mm-hmm.
I think the one thing that really bothered me was how much I disliked the main character. Mm-hmm. Like, that man was just not likable in any way, shape, or form. Like, even when he tried to do right, he tried to make things okay, and you're just like, dude, what are you doing? This is not how you're supposed to communicate with this person. Like, everything he did, you were just like, come on, man.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, dude.
That
was frustrating.
They were bumbling cops. It was the Keystone Cops. How the fuck? How the fuck did we get the Keystone Cops from Korea?
Yep. We found them.
Yeah.
And they were just all like, I appreciate a movie who have like, I love when a movie has like the worst possible cops ever. Like, no, they didn't go to police training. They went to no cadet school. They had no on-the-job training. They're just there. And they're just like, well, we don't know what to do. But this was a little much because you got to know each character, and it's just like, you're not just a bumbling cop to the side. You're the main story.
I thought one of them was going to get glued to a toilet seat in a prank or something. Like, it was that.
It wouldn't have been unbelievable either.
Can I ask, like, I don't know if it's too early for this, but can I ask a question, like a structural question for this? Why were they cops? Like, in terms of the story, like, what about them being cops? Because remember, they went to this motherfucker's house, discovered this room full of evidence that they came back because they were pissed about it, right? They were like, we should go back and talk. They did not arrest him. All the occasions where they're like, hey, this is the guy? Yeah. He's got all that shit? Yeah. Should we arrest him? I don't fucking know. Like, just why can't they be plumbers? Like, why are they cops if policing isn't at all part of anything they're doing?
I like
I don't
that a
know.
lot.
Any input on that
Oh,
one?
I found that weird as well. I'm just like, why? So they left. Like it just is so sudden. They're just like, well, we got him red-handed, and then it cuts to them just driving away.
Yeah.
It's like,
Well, that
wait,
was weird. They were like, "We're lucky to get
back!"
out of there." Like, what? What do you mean? You're the cops. I don't.
See, in that part, I'm really wondering if it's bad writing or if they're actually going off of something that I found out yesterday, which is really interesting. Because every society adheres to a different thing, especially a lot of the Asian countries. The elderly are looked at in held in a certain light and treated extremely well compared to here, obviously. I mean, here, Jesus Christ, we don't even fuck about old people, but uh, over there, it like when you're an elderly person, you're looked at like almost like from what was explained from what I was watching, as like a wealthy, important person. So the way
Yeah.
certain things are treated, I hate to say it, but it's just facts. In some of these countries, is you're almost treated like royalty as an elderly person. So the fact that he could have even maybe done those things, or they were there, he could have lied to them and just been like, I just live here. That was already here before I got here. And they technically, with the way they trust and treat the elderly, they'd be like, all right, okay, sure, you are old, so I mean,
Yeah, but the thing is, they went there with a priest or a deacon in the hopes of, I imagine, confronting him.
yeah, oh
They,
yeah.
he wasn't home. Just the dog was, and they found all the evidence they want. I mean, that was like the cha-ching moment of any movie. You know what I
But
mean? When
did
they're
you
trying to find the
notice
killer.
that dude, the deacon in that scene? He was like, "Yo, this is illegal as fuck, right?" Like he's like, this is absolutely illegal, Uncle." And he's like, "Shh, shh, 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 shh," and they just keep going.
Yeah.
Oh
Like
yeah.
from just that alone, I was like, man, nothing's gonna come out of this except they're gonna get scared and they're gonna know something that they probably shouldn't know. But
Yeah.
then that's like not having like a warrant, or maybe like Stefan said, like maybe they didn't have any cause, or they just flat out couldn't arrest this dude because he was old.
Well, and so then the move is to go back there again. Like it's like that's the what was it, the
See,
phantasm?
this is where this is where that main character, I was like, bitch, what you doing?
Mhm.
Like, they think that this man, spoiler alert, okay? They think this man may be a ghost or a spirit. That's why he's got the priest. And he also knows a little bit of Japanese, so he's like the translator. Knowing full well that this person in front of you may be some sort of supernatural entity, you're going to
Possibly.
you're going to threaten this dude. And then you're going to go as far as to kill his dog and say, hey, that's going to be you in 3 days.
Yeah.
Like,
So
what about that was a good idea? The thought structure throughout the scene, I was like, even the priest was like, yo, like, don't do that. Don't do that. Stop.
the two cops go to the house. One cop discovers all the evidence, doesn't tell the other cop. He's just like, hey, we should get out of here. Then he tells him on the way. Then he's like, oh, it's all this evidence that you murdered everybody. Also, you're after my daughter, apparently. So he goes back, kills his dog in front of him. He's either a killer or a demon. And he tells him to leave town. Like, what the fuck? None of it makes any sense, dude. Like,
the one thing
are under arrest because I am a cop. Should have been all along. That should have been his only line.
Yeah.
But Stefan's right that it's in a different country, so there may be something like culturally that we don't.
Yeah, but Stefan's point was that he was deferential to an elder, and he just killed his dog in front of him, spat on him, and told him to go leave town.
Right. Yeah, I don't think of it like that. Like him being, I don't think at any point they felt deferential to this like broke ass like migrant living in the woods. And they keep thinking like he's the killer from the beginning, and they're like, yeah, it's that random Japanese guy, right? And they're being racist about it.
If anything, it was xenophobic, yeah.
Like right, it's definitely hinting at like that's like the xenophobic thing, and then it turns out to actually be him. But like I feel like at no point did they actually like feel respect for him. I don't even know what I can't like quite get at the logic, but I would, if I were to stem a guess, I would just say it's because Koreans write cops hella stupid on purpose, and that's just like the culture there is that cops are really dumb in all of their movies. If you watch any Korean movie, cops are dumb as hell, and
or down
It's
and out.
true.
Like they're always like
saying FTP. That's all
But
I'm saying.
what
Yeah.
does that say about their society's view on cops if you're seeing that it constantly in the movies?
That they worship dumb people because they must. I don't know. I'm just
That
kidding.
they don't respect the authority or the cops, most likely.
Koreans say ACAB, right? That's what.
But I
That's
will.
Pretty
what
much.
it is. And I'm
Yeah.
almost thinking like Koreans also like give the finger to genre as we know it, and they will make like a comedy scene in a horror movie, and like they're trying to do it to like get you on board, but then when you look back, you're just like, this makes no sense. Like there's too much. You're trying to balance too many tones here.
Mhm.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
I noticed that. Then wait, what is this round 3 when they get the posse to go to this guy's house and they get attacked by the zombie?
Oh
Right.
yeah.
I think it starts with the guy getting hit by lightning, and then round 2 is they go
That
and
poor
they
man.
feed the dog, and then
Dude.
round 3 is they kill the dog, and then round 4 they have the posse.
Dude, I
Yeah.
thought I was watching, like, for a second there, honestly, because I used to watch a lot of the Three Stooges. Like, literally watch, so I'm a Three Stooges fan. And when they were fighting that, like, it was like a mob fight from Three Stooges. It was a little bit like watching live action anime, where it's like, they don't take itself, it doesn't take itself 100% seriously. It was just
They're
goofy.
the ultimate bumbling cops. That's what I'm saying. Like
Yeah.
they're just so goofy, and it's ridiculous.
Like, and can I
Oh
also
my
say
God.
that this is one of those movies, how like in Family Guy or whatever other places where they reference like, hey, they said the title of the picture in the dialogue, like, haha, that, and every single person in this fucking film does not stop screaming for it's a screamathon the whole fucking movie. Now I know where it got its title. Like, I needed, when I was done with this, I wanted to go and put on like a Zen water fountain or something just for like 10 minutes and just be
That-
like,
Okay, his daughter, that little girl, ooh,
she could act.
scream queen.
Yeah.
Oh my God, her screams, her wails when she was pissed off. I was like, she's good.
Mhm.
Like she's got it.
That for me, what I heard was like, don't be a serial killer in Korea. Bad idea.
Okay.
Cops don't respect your privacy. Come on. I don't know. I think there was a lot of stuff that worked, and then a lot of stuff that was kind of like, what happened? you know.
Mhm.
I think my major complaint for me, and this is weird even for me saying it because I do like some movies that are really long. This was a really long movie to get to where it had to go.
Mhm.
Like, I think we could have got there like maybe 30, 40 minutes sooner.
The Wailing took a
Just
bit
saying.
of the scenic route.
Yeah.
You know?
just saying.
I would say an hour 45
We-
is probably plenty for this movie.
Yeah.
Sure.
But
I mean, it didn't, like, that part didn't bother me as much. Like, it like, yeah, you could have, we didn't have to take the one and get the coastal view, but I mean, there's been longer, more like ridiculous movies that I've seen,
Mhm.
where it's just like, you could have made this 2 movies. Like, what are
Mhm.
you doing? At least this one, it's like, all right, we could have shaved it down, but they kind of evenly distributed, like, where things dragged,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't mind if a movie takes its time for the sake of cinematography, like literally this, stopping for the scenery. But when it includes things that you're like, that shouldn't have been there. This would be better if that was out. And there's a lot of those things, and the movie's too long. You're like, you did 2 things wrong, and you could have fixed them by, you know what I mean? Like, one of them fixes the other. Why did you do that? I felt like there was way too many eating scenes. I thought this was the Food Network for like a good 20 minutes of this film. Like, he's just always like
Talking about, they don't know genre. They'll just randomly start turning it into a cooking show. You know what I mean?
yeah. And I was starting to get hungry.
Like the grandma. Hey, where are you going? Oh, I'm going to work. Get in here and eat now. No, I have to go to work now.
And then he gets there, and the crime scene is a shit show. You know what I mean? Like, because he was late. Like, I know he's the bumbling cop, but I don't know. I don't know if it was lost in translation, but the dynamic of his character being a bumbling cop was lost on me. I don't know what it actually led to in terms of story development.
Yeah, I think my favorite sequence is when the shaman guy shows up and the lady's there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
right?
God!
And then he just starts bleeding profusely. That was fucking awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was.
I love the special effects with that, and I love that. I always love in the movie when there's a moment and a character is like, "Oh man, I fucked up. Oh, this is bad. This is really bad," and it just changes the entire story.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
But there's just that one moment of clarity where you could see it in their eyes, and they're like, I gotta go back. It's like getting an STD. They're like, I gotta go back and tell everybody who I was trying to help.
The one thing that I wanted to see, and maybe I'm the only one with this, but possibly for me that I really wanted to see, that was slightly disappointing for me, but I wanted to see. Granted, again, some people may have not wanted to see it. When the lady's holding him there and tells him he has to wait for the 3 bell rings, I believe it is, or something,
Mm-hmm.
or the 3 rooster crows.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to see his daughter like go to town. I wanted to see her go full Norman Bates in that motherfucker. I wanted to see what that would have looked like, is what I'm trying to say. I get the whole concept of, leave your imagination to fill it in, but I with the way the pace of the movie was, I wanted to see her fucking go AWOL Norman Bates on the grandma and the mom, man. Even if it was just like for 30 seconds. No gore, fine, whatever. I just want to see her go fucking Ginsu with the, just do shit.
I was kind of wondering that too, because I was like, did she stay in the little girl form? Did the demon like kind of transform, give her some super strength? Did she climb up the walls? Like, I want to know what the extent was.
Yeah, dude. If she would have went up the fucking wall, landed on the ceiling, and they're like looking for her, and then she fucking dives down and starts fucking shanking, dude, I'd have been like, yeah. Just something. I want to wake up. Just wake me up.
By the way, so this section, the ending that you're talking about, this is probably my favorite part of the film, but it's still a little problematic. And one of the issues is a Keith classic that you guys hear me talk about from time to time that I love. Is whenever like something happens and then they're like, fuck it, let's just do that again. Like, like another Death Star. Let's have another why not? Everyone's doing it. Let's have another Death Star. They won't expect it. So I love how the girl got possessed, and I guess here I'm gonna put in a hacky joke. So they didn't pay the hospital bill, and then the girl got repossessed. Like, why? She got possessed twice, people, in this film. I don't. Why? Why can't she just be possessed? Go through all. I don't know. Is it me? It's me.
They had to give you the false hope when spoiler alert. They had to give you the false hope when they killed when the mob finally got the old guy.
Mm-hmm.
And like, there's that whole scene where the dad's like, are you okay? And she's like crying like, I'm okay. And then because that's what made that really great scene when the shaman went up to the house and the lady was there and the oh fuck moment happened. Mm-hmm. Like, you needed that little bit of like, oh, everything's okay. Maybe it'll get somebody else. Nay, not today.
Yeah.
But it would have been maybe if the grandmom got possessed at that point, that.
No, it was supposed to be the daughter. It was like a reprieve. Like they won that battle, and the daughter was a little bit better. But then, it happened again, and it builds up to that moment, which I thought was like, this is what I love about that movie, and I like understand what Stefan is saying about there not being like a lot of action when it comes to like. He kind of shows up late to the scene, and she's already done most of the damage. And so it's like you don't get to see a lot besides like a bunch of dead people and a lot of blood.
Oh no, there's a lot of blood there.
But like the anticipation he has, where he has to wait to act, and it's something that he does earlier also when the shaman is doing the ritual and like killing the fucking chickens and shit, and like he's told not to fucking touch her or disturb her or whatever, and then she's like dying right in front of him, like with her back all turning and shit like that. And to me, that was another moment that really got it for me, where it's like I know he's gonna do the wrong thing and fucking just stop the ritual,
Yeah.
but I know that like that's the wrong move, but I know he's gonna do it, and that's what makes it like really fucking hit me, you know. It's just like that choice, right? And
Mm-hmm.
and so it like I don't mind that it creates more different sequences for him to be stuck in a really tough choice like that, because like that's my favorite part about it. And so like the end there, waiting for the rooster, like that was also like really fucking like the part there where he's just like fighting whether or not to trust this random, like, because I didn't know what was going on either. It's like, is it like really her? Like I don't fucking know anymore. Like I can't fucking tell. I'm so confused by this fucking movie. You know what I mean? Like it makes no fucking sense. And so I was just like, I don't fucking know either, dude. But then I relate to him because I'm like, but he's also an idiot. So I know as much as he does because like
That's the one thing I will say, man. Like, there's certain things that'll go down, and you're like, hey, man, what's wrong with these fucking people? I feel so smart. How did I figure this shit out? And you didn't.
but I didn't know what was going on either because
Uh,
it was so confusing. So I was
Yeah.
like, it's probably this, but I'm in doubt too. And I'm like, I understand why he's gonna do the wrong thing, but please don't. Like, wait for the rooster, you son of a bitch. Wait.
For
But
the
I'm-
love of God.
I'm confused as to what the timeline is, because from what she was describing, she was saying that if you go back there before the rooster crow and I put a trap, if you spring that trap, she'll kill everyone. So that means that it's,
I think that's what the guy was telling her, that she's a liar and a deceiver, if I'm not mistaken. And so
yeah,
I
but
think if he went back, the daughter would have basically killed him too, is what I'm thinking.
Well, no, I thought that if he went back, everyone would have been fine. And she was actually the one fighting the devil and fighting the deceiver. And then she turned out to actually be the correct one.
yeah, she's not the, but that means that, so if he didn't go back, nobody would have died, or would,
Right. He would have just entered a different reality where none of that had happened.
okay, because I was gonna say once he springs that trap, he's like second from the
It's
door.
like once he springs his trap, it's like he's forward in time, like what would have taken an hour to happen, right?
Yeah,
like,
yeah. That's what I was confused about. And then I'm like,
maybe 10 minutes at least, right?
I like the M. Night Shyamalan style twist here, but I felt like it was a little clunky and a little abrupt. And I was like, wait, I'm not. We just spent 2 hours and 10 minutes like on bullshit, and you're jamming all this into 10 minutes, and I'm like, that's how I felt about it. So
You felt like a Looney Tune?
yeah, I still liked it. I don't want my time back. I'm glad I watched this movie, but man, I want to fix it. I want like a director's cut that is like,
You want it direct? What? You want it longer?
no, but a director like, let someone else cut it like down. I don't know.
Robert Rodriguez, get in here. Fix this.
I just want to. I
I
don't know.
feel like there were moments like that it could have spent building atmosphere too, where it had like some great scenes of driving with like great music playing that lasts for like 5 seconds, and then it goes back into whatever. And it's like, I felt like, yeah, if it was gonna have like that slow pace, it should have worked to maintain that dread the whole time, because it takes so many breaks to like go into a different tone.
Yeah.
That I got like I get a little bit exhausted at the beginning, just like trying to be like, what's happening now? Okay, and without that indecision of me knowing whether or not the guy's gonna fuck up, it also like I watched it again and it was a lot harder to rewatch, just because it's like a lot of fucking time you invest just for like a few moments where the tension is only based off of how dumb is this guy gonna like act right now. You know what I mean?
Yep, I
Yeah.
totally agree.
But Oh, sorry. Good.
No, go ahead, Stefan.
No, I was just gonna say I agree with the cinematography. I really like a lot of the vista shots and uh, stuff where they're driving or stuff where they show the little village or city that they live in. A lot of the camera work was really nice, and it was nice to see parts of Korea that obviously I may never see. I thought that was really really nice. There are moments where the dialogue's really good and the interaction with the other characters. It's just I think a lot of movies, not even just this one, get lost. When sometimes building character, whether it's the main character or the other people they interact with, and then the other people they interact with, if they build it so much and then at some point they're not in the movie, you know what I mean? It's kind of strange. It's
Hmm.
like, we'll come back to you in like an hour and a half. you know
Yeah.
but I will say that's a few things that I did like. I mean, I don't think the main actor was the worst or the best, uh but with, and again, maybe the script even at that point was like bonkers, and maybe some of that is written and some of it's him ad-libbing, maybe, which happens actually quite a bit, or is quite common actually, for movies in general, especially horror stuff. um but I enjoyed it. I think that's my only complaint is just the length. I just wish it got to where it needed to be a lot sooner. Ending wise, I do agree. The ending was cool because of no spoilers there. Unless somebody else wants to do that, that's fine. But that's
Yeah.
pretty
Well,
accurate the way he
What
looked.
the bad thing happens is the spoiler, right? Like the bad, it's gonna happen at the beginning of the movie because it happens, and then you see it leading up to
Yeah.
happening for the next
Well, I
two
mean, they drop homie off right off the fucking side of the thing. How does the priest not go? Yeah, this is a bad idea, because we actually, he's still alive. Like, hello.
Hmm.
yeah, I don't understand what their motives were at that point. Like, did they want to murder this guy, uh, or
They wanted
escape,
to kill the ghost, or else it was gonna plague the town.
or hide the body to get away with whatever they were doing? You know what I mean? Like, because they were just dumping someone down a hill, and it kind of doesn't solve either problem. So, I, I, I don't. And how did he fall right on top of the car?
um
Yeah, I don't.
magic.
Yeah,
I think
Magic.
from the shot that it goes back to,
the woman.
yeah, but I think the way he shot it, it's so you don't know there's really much to go on with her right away. Because
Mm,
I think if they did show her literally pick him up and throw him, we would have been like, oh, okay, that no,
yeah,
something's fishy about her, right? Because we already know something's kind of weird, but we don't quite know, exactly what. So I think that's why they don't show you that. I think it's maybe more hinted to, if I'm not mistaken. You're supposed to assume maybe she did it, or somehow he fell, maybe, you know.
yeah.
But now that we know what happens at the end with the things that individual is capable of, oh, she most definitely threw his ass.
It's a battle of ghosts. It's a ghost battle, ghost fight, which
So,
Well,
which also took place off screen, like so many other things in this movie.
so they said that
Yeah.
so this guy from the beginning was the demon, and then they're like, no, he's not the demon. And they're like, you know what? Guess what? He is the demon. And then that's the reveal at the end. That
Right, and then that's also the
yeah,
worst. Like that's another problem with this movie is just like ta-da.
yeah,
Like when it was like the shaman, that would have been cool if it turned out that he was actually the fucking guy, but I don't know. Like also they knew it was they had the pictures at the beginning, so then it's like where are you going now? And for a minute it just lost its way because they didn't just like go and arrest him. And I feel like all of that time period between them finding the pictures and then going and arresting him is just like lost time, or it's like waiting, the film's waiting to find its like solid footing again, because it's just like how long is it going to take them to
mhm.
go from
yeah.
the audience is convinced to now we're doing something about that. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And that's where I got slightly. I think the thing that kind of got me a little bit confused, right, is the whole it's this person, it's not this person, oh, it is this person, right? So we have that going on, right? So with the thing with the lady and then the Japanese guy, I'm just kind of, I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, so the shaman's saying the lady is the one, not the other one, and then we're at the end and we're like, oh, so it is this one too. What?
I didn't
are,
think it
are
was.
they both bad? Are they
So was he
one's
a
bad?
henchman? Was he like the henchman for the?
It sounded like from what they were conveying that he was trying to stop the lady. That he was actually like a roadblock between the girl and, at least from my interpretation, unless I'm wrong, but what I got was, from the dialogue that was added in the film, it sounded like he was a roadblock between the girl and the lady, and
Mm-hmm.
then they did something to him, and he's just
Wait.
like, okay, whatever.
Okay. So, because yeah, I was a little confused about what the shaman's actual role is and what he was doing. Like what was he actually doing working as a shaman for the family? What like when he was in that ceremony?
He was doing the ceremony as a death hex to stop the individual they thought was doing the harm to her. But the reason
Mm.
why during the ceremony she didn't get really better, it was getting worse, is because he wasn't the individual doing it. They all assumed it was him, but it was the lady.
What lady?
Spoiler alert.
I don't think it was, because it seemed like that was another red herring, and then it turned out that it was him, because she's trying to stop him from going back to his house, and then he gets there, and then everyone's dead.
Guys,
So
we gotta
that's what,
stop saying spoiler alert because we've all fucking already seen the movie and we don't know what happens. So
well, and that's the thing that's I would say is probably of anything. I love the journey, but the thing that gets me is, okay, so we got it. They're both evil,
So I
right?
don't think that we're both evil, though. No, I thought that the woman was a spirit trying to battle an evil spirit. You know.
yeah, No Name I think is that's the translation of the Korean name they have for that woman, the girl
The
who
lady in white or
the
whatever.
lady in white, yeah, who appeared outside of the police
See, but
station.
how do
She's
we know
laying,
with everything that was going on that she is 100% good?
he's laying bait at all of the different houses, trying to stop him from and there's like the shit that she's laying out is actually, and it's because of the fact that it like triggers after he goes through. So he goes through before the shaman goes through, and he triggers the trap already, and then the shit rots. You know what I mean? Whatever she was hanging there rots, and so
See, and
that's how
that,
you
yeah.
Oh.
No, I get what you're saying. I think at least, see, that's something that should have been fucking even given a 5-minute scene somewhere in the movie.
And why
It
was she
doesn't have
throwing
to.
rocks?
what?
Why was she throwing rocks? Does anyone know that?
No, that part is super confusing. And that whole
I think she was just trying to get his attention.
that whole thing just turns into a dream sequence.
One rock.
Though that
Yeah.
whole conversation, then he goes into the house, and then he gets attacked, and the devil tackles him, and then he wakes up from a nightmare.
So was that
So
whole thing a dream?
She might have been that whole cutscene. That whole scene might have been a dream.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
See, and that's what I mean. Like before the movie ends, way before it ends, I'd say probably even 30 minutes to be brave. I remember Heather, when you were saying that he walked through the thing that she put up. Yeah, it did rot. Now, but if that's the only thing we get to also signify that she did have good intentions and that she was more on his side than the other individual, I think I have to try a little harder than that. Because at least for
Well,
me,
and
when I
then
watched it, I thought they
he
were both bad.
no, but then the shaman
Uh,
takes photos, and she's trying to stop him, and he doesn't do what she says, and so then the really bad ending happens. But if he did what she said, then it might not have
yeah, but
happened.
how do we know that 100%? You know what I mean?
Okay, I mean, it's just based
That's
off.
all I'm saying.
It was like a Schrodinger's cat type of scenario, that like choice.
Mm-hmm.
Because like basically both realities
Children
exist.
weren't already murdered, right?
Yeah. Which reality do you enter?
Exactly.
See, and that's my thing. If she's that powerful that she can alter time itself or change to an alternate universe type
They're
outcome.
all that powerful.
No, I know. I'm just saying, if that's the case, uh, then it shouldn't have mattered whether he walked through the damn thing or not if she's that powerful. Just
No,
saying,
but
in my opinion.
she's battling other monsters out there. I'm not even saying like it's that she's that powerful. Like you can't look at it through
Yeah.
that perspective. You have to look at it through just like, I guess, let it just like, maybe it took him a lot longer to walk there. I don't know.
Yeah.
But you just have to look at it like, yeah, that was the choice and he didn't make it right. And maybe the execution wasn't perfect, but I thought they gave enough information. The shaman's taking the photos and like, um, to me, it's like very well explained that this is an important choice, right? And it like matters whether he waits or not,
No,
right?
no, I got that part. I just don't understand why the shaman is calling him to tell him specifically, "Hey, man, I was wrong. Don't listen to her because she's she's a liar and she's only trying to stall you from saving or doing the right thing or whatever it is. But, whatever my assessment was, I was wrong. So the lady you're talking to, get away from her, man. She can't be trusted. She's evil.
But
You know,
exactly. So the shaman saying she's evil and then the shaman turned out to be evil, doesn't that mean that the shaman was probably trying to deceive him about her?
but how was the shaman evil if even though it was the wrong person, they were
Came
killing
and took
the,
the photos, and then I think he had more photos on him too, like in his trunk or some shit.
well, what were the
Like
photos?
the same
Wasn't that
photos
what?
from the
Yeah, it's the
beginning,
same photos that
That was
the
in
one
that
dude have.
room that he
Yeah.
stole
before and after
her.
photos.
So,
He's
so
taking
the shaman
photos.
was working with the Japanese guy?
Yeah, they were in cahoots.
Ah, okay, I didn't get
So
that.
the Japanese guy was apparently the demon. They call him the stranger. So the stranger was a demon, and so the shaman was like his henchman, his like guy on the inside who does all the operations and stuff. Like, which I don't know, seems a little convoluted. Like I don't.
Yeah, it didn't seem very clear to me on that part. At least for me. I mean, if the only thing that gives you that is the photos, then I'm fucking lost.
Well,
Yeah.
no, it's all the other things too. Just like the whole presentation of the ending there. Like I feel
Because
like
then why would he be hurt if he's literally 100% in cahoots? Why? What would have happened if he did actually legitimately complete the ritual? If he wasn't interrupted, you know what I mean?
well,
Why
it,
kill?
I
Why kill
think,
someone you're working with? I don't know.
um, I mean, yeah, and I don't know what was going on with that ritual exactly. At that
You
point
know?
in the
Well,
story,
to
it makes
me,
sense, but then in retrospect, it is like a loose end where it's like, okay,
Mm.
what was conveyed to me in that scene was like not fully. Wait, does that mean it was good that he stopped the ritual midway through or not? Right? It's like suddenly they're
I
teamed
think
up.
the ritual was a setup. Cause that's when I was like, something's weird here. Either like this guy is really a demon and he could like smell when someone's about to do a death hex, because he was doing what it looked like he was doing a counter spell.
Yeah, like a
So
protection
if
or
this
something.
dude was doing a death hex, he was on point. Every time the shaman would cut a throat, the Japanese dude would cut a throat. So it was almost like they were taking, he was casting out the death hex, then the Japanese guy was like, reverse, and putting
Mm.
it on the little
Like a
girl.
like a counter spell type thing.
Yeah, so
Mm.
they kind of needed it to foil over,
Mm.
in a sense.
Um,
I think it was a
right,
little bit more like, that was kind of obvious to me.
but it
Like, it was like, it almost killed him, but it was legit killing the little girl too.
it almost seemed like it was right exactly like it was killing him, which almost makes me wonder, well then how are they in cahoots if he's like being killed right now, you know what I mean?
That's why when he sent the photos and the link to the other, I was like, what?
Right, and like another explanation I can do, but at this point I am doing the movie's work for it because it's too ambiguous, I think, about plot, right? It's not like ambiguous to make you turn to the subtext. It's just like there's missing pieces here, and I don't like doing that for movies where they miss pieces and the audience has to pick them up in order to like explain character motivation and stuff like that, you know. It's like if you can't sell it with the textual evidence, then don't. But I almost feel like, okay, so maybe the shaman is charging them for the rituals, but he's working with a demon to give them a reason to charge them so that he makes.
Ah, okay. So like a con kind of.
Yeah, and so,
Okay.
but then
I
I
could see
still
that.
don't. It still doesn't quite answer why is he like taking the photos that end up at the devil's house, and all I can think is like, well, I guess it's just a complicated fucking relationship.
Maybe that's
I don't know.
that's his payment. Maybe that's what he wants out of it. I don't know.
Oh yeah, maybe that's the trade. I don't know.
I got to be honest. I was annoyed with when the dad stopped the ceremony for the daughter because I was like, wait a second. Either this ceremony is total bullshit, which I got the impression that you thought maybe it was, or it's working. Like, why are you stopping this? You know,
Yeah, I was annoyed when he stopped it too. I was like, again, with these bad decisions.
if
Like,
it's bullshit, then who
he,
cares?
he
It's
shouldn't have done that, you
Yeah.
know?
It made sense to me why he did it, because his daughter is like straight up having a like possessed seizure in front of him, like an exorcism,
Mhm.
like right there in front of him, and she's like dying and shit. And so he just like freaked out. And like you can see,
And he saw that dude in the hospital too.
right, and they like telegraph it a little bit where he doesn't just like flip out all of a sudden and be like stop, like he's like suffering through watching her and is like struggling a little bit. And so I did appreciate that, like him caught and not acting right away and doing something stupid just like right away, but actually like struggling with the decision at first. But it does, like, you watching it, to me it's like I'm pretty sure you shouldn't disturb the ritual. Like, just let it go. And so I get really frustrated watching him like actually do it. I'm just like, no, it's cringy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, but when you think about it, like,
shitting my pants, you know.
yeah, I feel like there's a lot of the choices they made in this movie, in the filming, and then again in the edit, is just like it evokes this reaction from you, like you just talked about. But when you really like think about it, you don't know why. You don't really know what's going on, you know, and none of the pieces don't really fit together. This is like jigsaw pieces hammered in place a little bit, you know. So,
Put
And
some
that's what
super glue.
that's what I kind of liked about it. And this is like, it goes into why I love like supernatural movies so much. Like that's the fun of supernatural.
Mhm.
Like that's why it's supernatural. We don't understand how it works. We don't know how it works. All we know that it's fucking scary and it's
you just gave
potentially
him
real.
you just gave him the out he was looking for. The fucking director was like,
Well,
thank you, Christina.
no, but that's true. I mean, with phenomenons, you don't know how the supernatural work. You can spin a demon a million different ways and make a million different movies about a million different demons. Like nobody knows for sure. All we have is what we perceive as demons, or if we've had encounters with things we can't explain that were demonic. Like that's all you have to go through with this storytelling. So that's the fun in the supernatural aspect. Sometimes it's like you could be left going, what the fuck? But still got like some, you got your spookies on.
Sounds like
Yeah,
a plot device, like time travel. We
Yeah.
can make anything happen.
That's what I always talk about liking the most too. And I think probably my favorite scene in the whole movie was when at the end when the no name, the girl with no name, was explaining to him the choice, and that just that whole spooky dynamic, how he wouldn't even approach her, and it's like nobody knows what's happening, like it's just confusing as fuck, but it's dark, and you're trying to figure out everything, and that and when she made the guy puke. All right, guys, are we close to last question I wanted to ask. So is that fucking Deacon, is he dead at the end?
That poor man.
No, yeah, I think he's gonna be snacks, man.
So if that's the case, like I'm confused about that too. Like, what good is a fucking deacon if he can't even like?
Unless he turns him and he ends up working for him to bring him more victims, you know.
Maybe.
That's what I was thinking. That I think he may have. I mean, that probably makes the most sense. Like, I've seen what you can do, man. I think I'd rather be on your side rather than his side. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the vibe that I kind of got. Is like he was kind of beefing him up and kind of scaring him a little bit.
Or he does something that's even more fucked up, but still in the in between, right? He makes him like a witness to the carnage, keeps him alive, but doesn't allow him ever to leave. You know what I mean? And then just kind of snacks on him over time.
Yeah, are we writing a new movie at this point?
I think that he keeps him as the sex slave, and
That's
makes
possible too.
him
Is this
suck
the
the devil's
sequel?
dick. And
Yeah.
I feel like that's telegraphed if you watch carefully. The way that he's just like, yeah, you trapped here now, and he's just like in his underwear. Look at my hands, boy. He's like being very.
That would make sense. Because, I mean, look at the very first victim. The very first victim, the reason that they linked her back to the Japanese guy was because he raped her.
Oh, because he raped her.
And then
yeah.
she was just stuck in this weird,
content.
like, limbo of being fucked up until she eventually died. But it's like, okay, I could see that. He keeps them as sex slaves and tortures them, and they're just like kind of here, kind of not. Their bodies are here, their minds may not be. We don't know.
It's definitely possible. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
No good things are happening to that guy. It's all we
Yeah.
can say. Like, there's nothing good that's about to happen to him.
I will say though, when he walks out of that house and looks around the corner to see the dude eating a person, and he looks at him with the red eyes. Granted, I'm sure other people were like, oh, okay, this is either scary or suspenseful. I just started to laugh.
Mhm.
I was like, is this fat dude really going to get away? I don't know, man. I don't know.
Like, I'm not sure.
I think
Then when
this
he-
might be our first film reviewed where we we don't agree on what happened in the ending. Like,
Like, I
nobody
don't
knows
know.
for sure. Like, teach the controversy, people.
Tell us in the comments what the fuck happened in this movie.
Please.
Let's rate it. Is this for fucks or for folks? Is the question.
Yeah.
I'm
I
gonna
would
say this is leaning more on the fuck side.
Yeah, I would say it's definitely a fucker of a movie, and it's just off-putting and disturbing for the casual viewer for sure. It's like it's a little in fuck territory,
I don't
but
know, man.
like Stefan said, I mean, I'll let you talk about the missing kitchen scene. Go ahead, Stefan.
Oh, no. Hey, man, maybe little Johnny needs to watch this movie, and maybe it's for folks. So maybe they'll be like, hey, you know what? I want to be a cop, but I don't know anymore. I don't know. Maybe I don't want to be a cop. I don't know. Maybe this is the video that helps young children to not be cops. Or bad cops. Oh,
Maybe.
man.
All the food you can eat, guys. It's all you can eat.
Sick fucks or sick or how many folks? Wow. Maybe like I don't know, three fucks out of 5, and
Yeah.
then and maybe folks, maybe like maybe
We don't even
5,
know what our rating system is. I love it.
four folks.
Give us a comment, people, on what our fucking rating system is.
I mean, I give this movie, I think probably 4.5 bucks out of 5, because I thought it had a punch to it. But a lot of it takes place off screen, and a lot of it ends up being maybe we're just desensitized, and we just like expect more of it. Maybe it's supposed to be like, to me, it's better when it puts more things in your imagination, but maybe there's like not even enough to suggest, so we can't even figure out where it's going. And so for that, I can't give it like a perfect score, but I have to say it is pretty much what I'm looking for, just maybe not quite so long, and it was hard to watch over and over again. You know what I mean? But it had me pretty much shitting my pants during a few moments. It was fine. It's four solid 4 out of 5, 4.5, whatever.
Fecal matter? You had fecal matter on yourself?
But it's definitely, I don't know if I would even say it's for fucks either. I'd say it's about halfway on that scale too. It's not too bad. Like, you can watch it. You're not gonna like need to throw up afterwards. You're gonna be
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah, I would give it about a 3.5 to 4. I don't know. Maybe 3.5.
3.5 boat. But I think it's right in the middle of fucks and folks, you know?
Mhm.
Because I agree with Heather that it's not, it didn't make me squeamish, but that doesn't mean it didn't scare me at points.
Mhm.
You know, it was still scary and it was good, like how it scared you, but it wasn't exactly, like I'm gonna stick a butcher knife and just slaughter you all the way across, where you're like, "Whoa, that was hard to watch." Like there wasn't anything in here that was really hard to watch,
Mhm.
but it was still scary.
All right. So Stina, why don't you walk us through what we're going to be watching coming
Or
up
what
next
are
week?
our choices?
All right,
Yeah.
guys. So I picked 4 movies this week. I'm gonna start with Evil Dead, the new Evil Dead, the 2013 Evil Dead, because I saw it when it first came out, and I was a little hesitant to like it. So I think I want to give it another shot if that's something that you guys are interested in.
I love that.
Another one that I picked is Hereditary.
That's
I've
another
never
good one.
seen it. So
Good
if
one.
you guys, I mean, you guys have seen it, right?
Oh yeah, I've seen it twice.
I have not.
You have not?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Is
Well,
it
in case you
scary?
don't know what it's about, I wrote down like the synopsis. When the matriarch of the Graham family passes away, her daughter and grandchildren begin to unravel cryptic and increasingly terrifying secrets about their ancestry, trying to outrun the sinister fate they have inherited. I'm here for that synopsis. That sounds really good.
What were the other two? Because I remember you said you had 4.
Yeah, so there's Evil Dead, Hereditary, and then I also picked Eli, which I know I've
Oh,
talked to
okay.
you guys a couple times
Mhm.
about. That's the one with the little boy that is allergic to outside air. He's
Hmm.
stuck in like a haunted house. Like he has a
Hmm.
really rare genetic disease where he's allergic to like everything outside of his body. Like he's a permanent plastic and boy in the plastic bubble sort of situation.
Oh, okay.
But he's
Okay.
stuck inside of a haunted like medical facility that
Mhm.
he's being treated at.
Huh.
So that's that one. And the last one is As Above, So Below.
Oh, okay.
This
Heard
one's the only one aside from Evil Dead that I've actually seen, and I really like this movie. It's kind of like a horror like mockumentary
Okay.
style,
Mhm.
and it focuses on this archaeologist, and she spends her entire life trying to find the Philosopher's Stone,
Mhm.
which is, I wouldn't say magical. It's more of like an alchemist tool where if you put it on any metal, it'll turn to gold. That's what the Philosopher's Stone is. And then she gets a tip that the Philosopher's Stone is inside of the Paris catacombs. So she gets a team together to go down there and try and find this Philosopher's Stone.
Hmm.
It's really good. So yeah, that's what I've got. I'll put it in the chat so you guys can.
All right, people. What are we gonna do?
I've seen all of those except for Eli. Hereditary is my favorite out of the ones that I've seen. And I wouldn't mind watching it again. I
Which
guess
one?
I could do Hereditary.
Which is
but-
the scariest? Do you think?
Well, out of those, Hereditary is definitely the scariest.
That's my vote. I need a scare, people. I need a good scare.
I've heard from a lot of people because this is the same dude that did Midsummer,
Mhm.
Yeah, Midsummer.
Oh,
Yeah.
sold.
and
I am.
yeah, this was his first movie.
Mhm.
So, and people say like this movie was fucking insane, like crazy. So it's been on my list for a while.
No, it's good. It's good. It's good. It has a mix of some stuff Keith is gonna like and some stuff I already know he's probably not going to.
Mhm.
I won't
Right.
spoil anything. I
It has
just
some
yeah.
stuff I don't like in it where I'm just like, enough already, you know? But
They pack
But-
up. Let me guess. They pack up and leave, and then go back to the house.
No, that's not in there.
not
Unfortunately.
even necessarily.
Not to spoil
no,
anything, but
they
no.
I'm
don't
just
do
asking.
that.
I don't-
They're not haunted by it, you know.
It's something else. You'll see. You'll see. If that's the one we choose, you'll see. I know when I first saw it, I didn't hate it, but it had to grow on me. And then once I watched it for a second time, I appreciated it and liked it more. because I knew more of what it was. But yeah, there are elements in there that either you're gonna like or not like. Keith. And some of
Scared
them
the
I'm kind of
shit
like,
out of me.
I don't know, because it is different than the Midsummer one. It is not the same.
Well, what's your pick, Stefan?
I'm down for either that one or the Evil Dead 2013, man. I still got to get the director's cut extended for the Evil Dead 2013. Apparently, there's a lot of added stuff that is not in the version that I currently have in my steelbook. So my buddy just bought it, and he said it's even better than the theatrical cut, which I don't know what the fuck that means. So I want to see that, the director's cut, man. Fuck.
So,
Yeah.
Heather, you get to either break the tie or set up a new one. What's your vote?
I'll just go with Hereditary. We'll watch Hereditary.
Okay, Hereditary sounds
Hey.
good. I
It's
want
on
Hello.
Amazon. It's on Amazon Prime. It's on Amazon Prime for free if you have Amazon Prime.
yeah.
Yeah, I think it's on Amazon Prime. You right. I thought The Wailing was on Netflix, and I was like, where the fuck did it go? Did I
No, it's on
literally just
Amazon.
miss it by a day?
It's on Amazon Prime.
I watched it on Tubi.
Oh, okay.
It's free on there. If y'all don't have Tubi yet, and you guys just seriously, one of my favorite things is get really stoned, go on Tubi, and just look through movies because they have everything, and it's not anything like it's hardly anything that you really want to watch. It's movies that have fallen through the cracks and nobody wants to claim. That's
Guys,
why
she's
it's
in charge of
so
marketing
good.
over at Tubi.
Sometimes you'll find good stuff though. On these
You
random
find
streaming
gems.
sites.
It's like you're on American Pickers for movies.
Yeah.
Like you just gotta really sit down and go through and find some stuff. But I love Tubi. We have a
Yeah.
giant list on there of just things that we find, and we're like, we'll save this for a rainy day.
Yeah. So I mean, if you like the Evil Dead 2013, the director, and I'll probably butcher his name, Fede Alvarez, he also did Don't Breathe. That's one that I'd like to pick eventually too. I love that fucking movie. Oh, I love Don't Breathe. Fuck.
I don't remember that one because I saw, like I said, I saw Evil Dead in theaters, but I think I was a little
Yeah.
biased
I
because
want to get the extended one.
I was like, I don't know if I trust anyone else but Sam Raimi to do this.
I didn't see that movie. I saw the Ash series.
Ash versus
for
the
Evil
Evil
Dead.
Dead.
Yeah, but so
Yes.
how does it differ from the current, like the Ash versus Evil Dead series?
Oh, it's night and day, I'd say.
Okay.
This one was a little more, and correct me if I'm wrong because it's been since 2013. This was like if somebody took The Evil Dead and made it into like a professional movie. Like they took a lot of the camp out of it.
Out of the
And
show?
No, not out of the show, out of the movie.
Oh, okay. Oh, no,
The 2013 version.
Yeah.
That's what I loved about Ash versus the Evil Dead was it was Evil Dead. Like this is exactly what the movie was.
Yeah.
But then the 2013 movie, it was like somebody said, "Okay, we're gonna make this a real horror film."
Well, what they did is they went back to the roots of the original Sam Raimi first movie because that was more of a straightforward horror movie. It's the second, what is it? Evil Dead: Dead by Dawn, and then Army of Darkness that brought a lot of the horror comedy camp type stuff. I love it all, but I know that there's a lot of my friends among us. Everyone's got these friends that don't like comedy mixed into their horror.
Yeah.
Keith, or would you say you're more that way? You don't want like
It
hardcore
depends.
comedy in your horror?
No, I like the combo. I like that genre, but that's not what I look for when I want to watch a scary movie.
No, I feel you. I don't mind if it's in there.
I categorize that as horror being the type of comedy that it is, rather than the other way around.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing. So if you really are looking more for a straightforward horror movie, as far as Evil Dead 2013, then that's more of the original roots of it. But if you're not a fan of the original roots of Evil Dead and you like Evil Dead 2 and 3, which is what Evil Dead 2, Dead by Dawn, or Army of Darkness, then yeah, you want to go the TV show route. you don't want to go the 2013 route then at that point.
Yeah, that's why I was like, you know what? I'll throw it on the list because I'm genuinely curious. Like maybe if I give it a second go, maybe Maybe I'll find something that I liked about it.
Well, I mean, if you didn't like the gore, man, that's not going to change. That had some really good fucking damn.
There's some really good scenes in there, I will admit. The tree
Oh,
scene
yeah.
is definitely, that's scarier than I originally remember in Evil Dead 2.
Oh yeah, well, I don't even think in Evil Dead. I mean, Evil Dead 1, they do have, it does go the route of, underneath the skirt or whatever, but it does not like the 2013
No,
one.
not like this. That's a whole different animal.
That one is literally like some like a crazy death metal music video. It literally
Mhm.
it goes there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, now we have a movie for next week, guys. Hereditary.
Yeah.
There you go.
We did it,
Yeah.
guys. We
Woo!
did another podcast. We've completed our obligations for today.
Our
Check
obligations.
back, check back next week for our review of Hereditary, which will definitely scare me. I don't know. I'm looking forward to it, though. I want to be scared.
Will it,
I'll
Keith?
probably be scared.
Will
Yeah.
it, Keith?
I feel like with your scary movie, Keith, it's like we're trying to find your glass slipper.
Yeah.
Like, what's the movie that's going to give
That's what
Keith the scare of his life?
Yeah.
That's what
That's
this
our
podcast
journey.
has been so far. Yeah.
It's going to be something psychological.
Yeah.
Little
Maybe
bit of blood,
sci-fi.
not a
I'm
lot.
down with sci-fi horror. I love that stuff.
Imagine we just say, watch Eraserhead. And he's like, that's it, guys.
Whoa.
no need to look further. Just Eraserhead.
I'm trying to think something
It have
that's
to be Eraserhead. That would
something
be.
that's
We were way off.
You said something that's sci-fi but horror, right?
I like sci-fi. Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna have to
My
really.
octopus teacher.
That name of a movie?
My Octopus Teacher, isn't that the documentary on Netflix?
I don't. Oh yeah. I watched that. That has nothing to do with horror though. But I did watch that.
It looks really cute.
I was a little scared when he was holding his breath, but no.
Have you seen Screamers, Keith?
Screamers. No, I haven't.
That's with I'm forgetting his name. Peter Weller, who played RoboCop.
Mm-hmm.
And the only way you can find the aliens is by how they scream.
Mm-hmm.
And there's some pretty interesting death sequences. If you get a chance to check out the trailers, I mean, it's not for everybody, but I really liked it, man. I remember seeing it back in I think it was mid to late '90s. Peter Weller.
All right.
I don't know.
All right, guys, we're gonna wrap it up. Good episode. We'll see you. We'll see the audience next week for our review of Hereditary. And
That's right.
I don't know. We'll probably watch a bunch of other scary bullshit in the meantime. All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.